So you want an action camera without spending hundreds of dollars? Well, look no further. In fact, you're only going to spend about 80 or so. Hey guys, welcome back to Tank. Today I've got the Eken, whatever you want to call it, H3R action camera. Now the difference between this one and the also common H8, I believe, this one has a little better quality, has dual screens, so it has a screen on the front, screen on the back like you would commonly see with the GoPro, as well as the ability to shoot in 4K, 1080p, and 720 at higher frames per second than the lower level H8. Now the H3R, the R meaning remote, comes with a 2.4 gigahertz remote that allows you to take still photos and video just at the click of a button. Kind of similar to the GoPro remote. Now, why purchase this over a GoPro? Mainly due to the price point. You're only looking at about 80 bucks from what I found off of just getting this whole bundle. The action camera, all the attachments, even more than comes with a normal GoPro bundle for $80 to $85 for the H3R. The H8 runs like 50 bucks, $50, $60 depending on where you look. I'll put a couple URL links in the description below for some Amazon links, linking to a couple different models. However, as I said, this is going to be specifically the H3R. Now, I don't have a GoPro 4 or GoPro 3, which would be most easily compared with this one. I have a GoPro 2 that I've been using pretty much ever since it came out, but unfortunately, that's not going to be comparable with this. 1080p is going to be the same, however, this does have the ability to shoot in the 2.7K as well as 4K, so you're going to get a little better quality out of this camera. In fact, this camera is able to do Wi-Fi without needing any kind of backpack like the Hero 2 has, as well as it has a built-in LCD screen, which again, the Hero 2 does not have. So if you're going to compare this to any other types of action cams, you're going to have to look at a GoPro 3, getting into like 3 Plus, Silver Edition, Black Edition, up to the GoPro Hero 4, so you're looking at a easily $200 to $300 price difference between this little guy and a GoPro counterpart. I'm not saying that this is better than a GoPro Hero 4. There's just no comparison at this time to a GoPro Hero 4. It's not going to beat it. However, for 80 bucks, you are not going to find any better action cameras. This beats the entry level $99, $120, whatever it is, GoPro Hero that doesn't even come out of the frame bundle that you can currently buy. There's no point to even purchase that. Same thing with the Hero Session. I don't believe the Hero Session shoots in 4K. It is tiny. However, again, I would still recommend getting this over the counterpart. Now, one of the key features that I particularly am not too fond of losing is the ability to use a microphone. For instance, if you're doing like vlogging while riding a motorcycle or something like that, and you want to attach a lapel mic to this, you're just unfortunately not going to be able to at this time. Whether they eventually come up with a method to, I don't know at this time, but currently you cannot. Alright guys, so this is the Eken H3R box. Pretty generic, pretty plain, and it has a little remote sticker on it because this is particularly the remote model. Pretty plain and simple on the side. Got a couple items that it's included with the action cam. Really, most important stuff is the specifications, such as the 2-inch screen plus the almost 1-inch status screen on the front hand side. The different resolutions it shoots in: 4K, 2.7K, 1080. It also shoots in 720 as well. Built-in Wi-Fi, the waterproof, obviously super wide-angle lens. It comes with two 1050 milliamp batteries, giving you a brief description of if you shoot in 1080p at 30 frames per second, you get approximately 1.5 hours. How dependent that actually is up in the air. You see your inputs, outputs, micro USB and HDMI. And again, just a brief little overview of what you get with this particular item. Now getting into what we really care about, you have the Eken 4K action camera itself. Brief nomenclature of the camera: you got the power button, got the Wi-Fi on the side, you've got your shutter forward button, whichever you want to call it, as well as that 2-inch screen on the back. And on the side, you've got your plugins, got your micro USB, HDMI, and your micro SD slot, as well as your battery port on the bottom. Go ahead and hold the power button for a couple seconds, and it'll give you its little chime and turn on. So you can see right now we're shooting in 4K. I'm not currently recording, but it is currently on.
So with the 32 gigabyte memory card inside of it, shooting at 4K, you get approximately 1 hour and 10 minutes, well, 9 minutes if we're being exact, of recording time. Pressing that settings button on the front hand side goes through your different settings on the GoPro, and when we get to the actual settings, see we can change the video resolution between 1080, 4K, 2K, and 720, looping video, change your manual exposure, resolution, time-lapse, as well as some other options, power frequency, not sure what that exactly is, date and time, sound, upside down, etc., etc. Now let's take a quick look at the manuals. This is obviously the remote manual. Looking inside, it just gives you a brief little synopsis of what's on the remote as well as how to do certain things with it. Taking a look at the action camera manual itself, again you've got the nomenclature of the ActionCam, some different setup guides depending on how you want to mount your ActionCam. Again over here as well. Here's a bigger overview of the accessories that comes with the action camera. And again, some getting started guides as well as how to shoot or take certain photos or videos. Okay, so now we want to use the app. Go ahead and press the side Wi-Fi button, waiting for Wi-Fi connection. And alright, so you'll see the Eken H3R connection. Go ahead and click that. Then you'll want to go over to the Easy iCam app or download it from the store. And on top you can see the camera devices. Go ahead and connect. And now we are connected, and the delay time is actually not bad at all. It's pretty quick, surprisingly, for the device. As you can see, we can control some of the items right off of here, such as shooting in 1080 or 720. You do not have the option to shoot in 4K on here. Get your battery life, auto white balance you can adjust from right here. Gives you some different, you can change your power frequency, you can put it to upside down if it's mounted upside down, you can record, take video, switch it to camera, and you have your continuous mode as well.
We're going to do a couple different videos with this. I'm not going to compare it with anything. I don't have anything to compare it to other than a Hero 2. You're going to get the same quality out of it, but you're going to see a sequence of a couple different videos, nothing too fancy, nothing out in the ordinary. It's just going to be around my house. However, it's going to be shooting in 1080p, 2K, 4K, and I'll even do the 720 at 120 FPS just so you can kind of see what it looks like. So now, one thing I do want to say before we get into that is the micro SD card you put into this. Now, it doesn't come with one, but if you know anything about memory cards and stuff, you'll know that there are certain speeds for each different class level of just SD cards in general. Now, this is not going to be as forgiving and friendly with SD cards GoPro counterparts are. For this, you're gonna need a fast speed, at least a 60 write speed, if not higher if you can get it. Anything lower, if you're just putting a generic SD card in there, you're gonna run into issues. If you're trying to shoot at 60 FPS, 4K, anything like that, it's gonna show stuttering. I'm gonna show you an example of that stuttering here in a sec. So be cognizant of what kind of memory cards you're putting in this. It will need to be a high speed. Here's a couple videos, guys, of some basic footage from this little guy right here. So we're doing a 1080p test currently. Say hello. 1080p at 30 frames per second. Say hi. 4K at 25 frames per second. Now, I don't know if this is true to 25 frames per second, but say hi. And now 2.7K at 30 frames per second. And now finally 720p at 120 frames per second. Alright guys, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Go and give it a like if you like it, give it a dislike if you didn't like it. Go ahead and comment down below anything you wish to share with me. Maybe some items that you would wish for us to review or do some demonstrations on, or just some questions about this that you have. But comment below. Again, I'll put some URL links in the description below. This has been the Eken H3R 4K action camera by Eken. As always guys, we appreciate it. Thank you guys and take care.